Right, let's do this. Clickety clickety. Hello, folks. Calls 9 o'clock Sunday night. It can mean only one thing. It's time for the Sunday Nighter. How you doing, folks? Oh, let me get comfy. Right, everything is streaming. Everything is there. Yeah, I've got Emperor Ming eyebrows. What the hell's going on with that? No doubt Kerry is watching from upstairs. Yeah, I see people chatting. We are good to go. The question doc is open. Yeah, this is a Q&A question show. Remember, yeah, if I run out of questions, no point continuing the show. So, links down below to get to the Google Doc. All you got to do, you don't need to be logged in. All you got to do is just leave your screen name. Let me know what platform you're on, whether you're on YouTube, Twitch, or Facebook. And then just leave your question below that. And in about 10-15 minutes, we'll get stuck into the questions. As well, down below are the links to support the channel. There's the link to Patreon. If you're not into Patreon, there's the link for the one-off for the show and the Amazon wishlist if you'd like to get something for the studio. Massive shout out to my live streamers on Thursday who managed to replace my nicked jigsaw. Yeah, picked one up at the weekend. Mel is a happy chappy. Thank you, folks. Genuinely. Yeah, because on a bit of a tight budget at the minute. Need to get stuff done. Also, need to cut some more bases about the Burma build. I've had ideas about that. Yeah, so we'll need to talk about that. Right. Question doc. Hello, folks, by the way. I see we've got about 50 chatting or more. In fact, it's saying 3 there, 48 there, 53 there, and 62 there. You gotta love technology, haven't you? Ming eyebrows, you can get tablets from that. I look like one of those Persian cats. Right, I see loads of people chatting. Yeah, to everyone who was at Warlords Open Day yesterday, it was great meeting you if you came up and saw the Burma build. Yesterday, I was at the Warlord Open Day over at Nottingham. And I took along the Burma build with me, took some Chindits, just so people could see it up close, if you know what I mean. Someone actually came along and offered, I think it was Corbin, they offered him 20 quid for one scatter piece. And it was me, Corbin and Jason. We came to the realisation that, just on the table alone, Jace worked out there was probably about £500-600 worth of terrain at that. And I'm like, it's just some scatter bases. And no, I'm not selling it. I see Cat. Hello, Cat. Oh, nice one, Diggers. Thank you, buddy. That was a bit of a weird noise, though, wasn't it? Not Digger's fault. Methinks it's playing up again. Mel, please do more in your grass playlist. We might revisit it, but to be perfectly honest, I'm a bit grassed out. No, I mean, there's not much I've actually learned, grass work, beyond perhaps a little bit of weathering and texturing and that sort of stuff. And we've done a lot of grass on the channel, to be perfectly honest. And I think I've covered it enough, yeah, for the vast majority of people. So there's other areas that I want to go into. Yeah, I want to get back into deserts. I've got jungles to work on. I need to get back into resin. These are all things once the book's done. Yeah, but we're talking what? About 6-7 weeks? Hiya, Cat. I don't know if Jace is going to be on the show tonight. Yeah, but I had a cracking day out with him yesterday. So yeah, me, Corbin, and Jace went to, Warlords Open Day. We played some games. Me and Corbin managed to actually get a game on, on the D-Day board. Damn, that thing's aged. Or should I say, it's a stark realisation of how far I've progressed in, in 4 years. Well, 3.5 it is. But I looked at it and it's like, there's so much on it I would do differently now. Mel is high from the smell of mixed herbs. There have been plenty of mixed herbs about. The acrylic corking battle mat is out on Tuesday, by the way. So anyway, yeah. So me and Corbin, we played on the D-Day board. He absolutely thrashed me. I mean, he utterly destroyed me. Yeah, I think I've got something like 1 unit left by end of turn 3. and I think I managed to remove one unit of his. So he was attacking, I was defending, I was in bunkers and sandbagged emplacements. Although I will raise a point, I didn't design that table, for people to be able to go up the rocks. I didn't think he could go up the rocks, but I wasn't GMing the game. And so he went straight up the rocks and stormed my bunkers and had my spotters, and I was not best. Best pleased with that. On top of that, Corbin snuck off and had a bit of a game of Cruel Seas. And he was like, I had 2 escorts to take out a massive destroyer. I had no chance. I'm like, it's the way it goes, son. Me and Jace also had a game of, what was it? It was Terry Pratchett's Discworld Witch Racing. Sort of a homebrew game where you raced witches. They gave me the rules, because I wanted to show them Kerry. I think they're in that pile. So that was a good game. I won that. I won one. And then Jason Corbin snuck off and had a game of Walking Dead by Mantic Games. And I don't know how that panned out. So, good day. Right, what are people asking? Did you ever go with SPQR? No, I didn't. To be truthful, Corbin expressed an interest in getting back into bolt action. I think he's forgotten how fun it was and how he can thrash me at it. And so, I think, I think he's going to be doing a lot more bolt action, so I don't really want to be delving into new game systems just now. Right, how are we doing on questions? We've got 3 so far. Right. Hey, it's not Binky the Clown, just me. Warlord was really good. Came home absolutely knackered, just crashed. Spoke to loads of people, had a great time. Picked up some bits. My only my haul from the show, 2 sets of Tufts. Typical me, eh? Go to Warlord Games, massive miniature show, loads of miniatures everywhere, and I come home with those. So, not bad, but the guys who did that had quite a range of scenics. Some interesting stuff, but these were the only things I really needed. Right. Hey, Jez. Just myself and get comfy. Right. So, Saturday was absolutely brilliant, to be perfectly honest. I had a great time. Met up with the Conflict 47 guys, hopefully after the book. That's becoming the stock phrase. But hopefully going down and visiting those guys in the future. Oh, nice one. Thank you, dude. This really helps because Corbin was on about the Big Burma build, and it suddenly occurred to me, Jace is pushing me to finish the roads, and I want to build some large area terrain, and I'm thinking teddy bear fur. Now, this is where my cat comes in, and I start throwing questions at you. Now, I know you can use acrylic paints, for doing teddy bear fur, because that was my go-to method in the past. But I know cats mention things. Now, I'm not sure if if it's polyester or if it's nylon. I haven't looked at the label, to be truthful. So, Kat, what dyes do I need? How expensive are they? Because my idea is I want to do a terrain lab video, and we'll do the teddy bear fur colouring, get that nailed, much like we've done with the acrylic caulking battle mats. And then I want to take that, and rather than just doing a load of test pieces and storing them for a while, what I'd like to do is, embed that into my Burma build and use that as the test bed, the 6-month test bed, to see how they pan out. Because whenever I do a terrain lab, Yeah, I don't really release a video on what we've learned in the terrain lab for about 6 months when we've had a chance to actually look at it and use it over time. Yeah, and that's why the acrylic caulking battle mat videos are only coming out, because it's been a year since those, and we've had a good look and we know how they hold up. And so my idea is teddy bear fur based as long grass on scatter bases that I can drop between the jungle pieces. So one, I've got my jigsaw for doing the bases, so thank you. But I've got I need some more teddy bear fur. I've got some, but I reckon we're going to need some lighter stuff. Yeah, and that's about, I think that's about 15 quid. And then I need to know what dyes we need. Right, now I see Kat's already replying. So the first next 10 minutes we're going to be talking teddy bear fur. Yeah, and this time you're shooting it back at me. Oh, red green. Are you going to 2020 Historicon? Yeah, fingers crossed I'll be there, bud. Question, Mel, what has been your biggest eureka moment in terrain building? Throw that in the Google Doc, mate, and I'll answer that when we get to the questions. Yeah, links down below, obviously, and obviously if you're enjoying the chat, yeah, and you want to help me get these nylon dyes or whatever dyes we need, yeah, links down below. Did you ever meet Luke Towan? No, Luke's an Aussie guy. Yeah, so I haven't had a chance to meet him, and he's not a war gamer, so he didn't go to Adepticon, and I don't go, and he doesn't come over for Salute. He goes to different cons, but we are friends on Facebook, and you know we do chat occasionally. But he's quite a busy guy, if you know what I mean. But I know Luke. They make a poly dye that you can use on the fur. Poly dye, okay, right? Rit dye, the same has been around for 100 years, has a poly dye, not very expensive. Bye-bye. He used 6-year-old teddy bears. I do. I've called the teddy bears in the past. Mel, get material paints for cloth. So Norman's saying material paints. Right, we need to open a bit of a window and go a little bit shopping and have a look. So, Al Amazon. Right. So, material paints. Fabric paints. We really want... more fabric, isn't it? Alright, let's go for fabric paints. Pens. Nah, that looks too thin or too expensive per volume. Right, back to the chat. Where's my chat gone? There. Right. You can use watered down paint because you're not looking at an all over colour, a variation of greens. Yeah. Right. What sort of paint? Are we talking oil paint? Are we talking craft acrylics, house paint, art acrylics? Also, there is teddy bear fur and just lots of fur. Short, long and varied. My store probably has 30 versions. Yeah, I've seen there's a fair few versions. Yes, Red Green's going to Historicon now. I'm going. Alright then, dude. We're on. Jacquard textured textile paint. Let's have a look at that. Right, we'll jump into the questions in a minute, guys. 25, 30 quid. Oh, it's nice. There's some beautiful colours. But that's like 30 quid for a pack of 8. Fabric paint is just acrylic craft paint with a textile medium added. Right. Hunt down those bears. I'm a hunting mate. For acrylic paint. Okay. So what about the nylon dyes and all this sort of stuff? What do we need for that? Probably using the stuff they use for screen printing. I'm not sure, mate. Right, textile medium is a thick additive that does not change the colour, simply makes the paint stay flexible. Alright, so textile medium then. Screen silk. Fabric effects medium. Fabric medium. Liquitex. Right, so about 15 quid for that. So 30. And then we just need the dyes. Hey, Tam. Hey, Jace. Oh. Right, so we're looking at about 30 quid for the teddy bear fur and the what do you call it, acrylic medium, and we just need to look at the dyes, and then we can get jumped onto this. Right. Everyone's upstairs and I need biscuits or something. I've got a hunger. I've got no one to send. Yeah. That's what I'm looking at on Amazon, darling. But that's for like half a litre. Right. Very quickly, check the PayPals, make sure I'm not missing anyone. So guys, if you want to send any tips, yeah, that's what we're funding for tonight. Yeah, we're going to get all these acrylic mediums and all that sort of stuff and figure out teddy bear fur. Yeah. Right. Oh, someone else has? I think. Who's we shouting out? You know, just Scott E today. Thank you, buddy. Right. I need to get a box together, find a way to send it to you cheap. Yeah, you do, Duck. I use rattle cans to colour mine and primer all in one. Right. Teddy bear fur. Using rattle cans on teddy bear fur. First time I've heard of that. So, we'll have to add that to the add that to just buy appropriate coloured teddy bear fur. The problem with teddy bear fur is you know, if you want greens and stuff like that, it can be quite challenging to get hold of. Yeah, I searched forever in the UK. And the only greens, they don't look realistic at all. And so if we know how to paint it, how to work it, because what I want to do is, I don't want to just do it one colour. I want to, you know, dry out the tips. I want different effects on it. I want to see how the different paints affect the teddy bear's fur's clumpiness, how it affects its sort of durability, and how it reacts with models and all those sort of things. Yeah, so we need sort of a wide range of things and a wide range of tests. So spray cans are going to go onto that. Yeah, teddy bears kindly donate it. Get them from charity. You buy children's charitable shop, teddy bears. Yeah, and then use them for terrain. Then again, I buy all corduroys and do the same. Right, so 60, I reckon. Yeah, that'll be the target for today's show. We are already we're already sort of 12 quid towards it. Hello, darling.
Got mum's sickness.
Oh, okay. Wait, is this acting? Come in. Oh no, your glands are up a bit, aren't they? You're quite warm here, Wills, to be truthful.
You want me to go stand outside?
No, you're alright, but how are you feeling? What do you want? Do you want to get a drink of water or a drink? 1 second, guys. Oh, darling. Right. Water or milk? I think juice or something. You just need to get some fluids in you if you're feeling sick. Yeah, juice? Alright, go get yourself a juice. Yeah? And get yourself a biscuit. Okay? Not chocolate or sweets. Just get a couple of those, custard creams. Yeah, just to get some carbs in you. Sorry, guys. Did it? Any of use for felt? Felt can be used. I've seen it used, haven't used it. The cone will help blend the colours. Yeah, I'm hoping so. Though, try Dylon dyes. Ew. My post-it notes are slipped. Oh. So, we've got... I've got the spray cans anyway. Oh. Spray cans. Yeah. What was that? It was... We'll jump into your questions in a minute, yeah? I wanna get I wanna get this nailed down. Dylon dyes. Acrylic. Fabric medium, wasn't it? Textile medium. / fabric. Medium. Yeah. We've got all the paints and that sort of stuff. So, Monday off sick. To be perfectly honest, Red Green, doesn't really matter, mate. It's the start of the school holidays, so they're off school anyway. Dog made a quick cameo, always does. Did it? Oh man, what's the name of that guy on the Facebook who's teddy bear fur genius? It's David Dave. I know who you're on about. Yeah, he knocks out those just battle mat after battle mat. Yeah, right. I just received another PayPal towards our little funding total, I think. Okay, €5. Nice one. We're getting there. What are we off? 10. That's about €5, about £3. 13. 47 off. Way. I've always called Teddy. Right, Jimmy's saying, I've never painted teddy bear fur directly. I've always covered teddy bear fur in glue, shape as needed, then paint the required colours. Yes, I've done that. You know, when I did the, there's a video on the channel, I've done literally that. Soak it down in watered down PVA to set it. I've been messing around with a lot of filler, yeah. Dave Marshall's technique from TM Terrain, and that looks nice. I'm sort of polishing that off. How was your weekend? It was good, mate. It was good. Nylon hot water dyes and can push cold water dyes through a cheap airbrush and spray bottles for localized colouring. Right. So we've got the Dylon dyes. We'll have to pick some of those guys. So we've got a few different techniques to try. Yeah, on this I'm going to have to sacrifice my hair shavers, aren't I? Because I haven't got actually, have we got an old cheap trimmer? I don't think I have. Then again, you can pick those up pretty dirt cheap, can't you? I cut my own hair, and I don't really want to sacrifice my one shaving set to do a Terrain Lab video. Right, so we are on mission. Yeah, hello, darling. Go on. Yeah. Oh, princess. Come here. Feel a little bit cooler. I think these pyjamas are a bit too warm for you.
No, just stick them on.
Well, even so, they're a bit thick. So I think what you should do, yeah, is just go upstairs. Do me a favour, open your bedroom window because it is a hot night. Yeah, and get some fresh air into your room. Okay, and just go drink and have those biscuits. Get your sugar levels up, yeah. And you'll be feeling fine. And Dad will come and check on you once he's done his show. If you need anything or you feel sick, you just shout, okay? Yeah, oi. No drama. I mean, if being serious. Alright, love you, darling.
Love you.
Go on. I'll come check on you once I've done the show, babe. babe. That's what I call Kez. It's alright, Kez is ill as well. I think there's... I'll be honest with you, I wasn't best this morning. I'm not sure if if I've got concrud. But her and Kez aren't feeling great. And grab from Wilco's and B&Q. Right, okay. Is they produce a big range of hand dyes which you can mix to your own colours. Right, okay. Right, I think we've got that nailed then. Use scissors and comb the fur to trim the teddy bear fur. You can get more variation. Yeah, I was just thinking of bulk shaving, just testing it out, you know what I mean? Must be real. Nobody feels sick at the beginning of a holiday. Yeah, it's real. Her glands are up, her temperature's up, you know what I mean? She's definitely feeling the effects of something. And more than likely, it's just a transitory 24-hour bug. But Kez was sick earlier, so she's got something. I hate it when my kids are sick. We all do, Scott. You know, it's a parent thing, you know? Right. So, fingers crossed, we have got that terrain lab nailed down. Yeah, and if we can get things sorted, we may be able to do that later this week. Maybe on this week's Thursday show. We will have to see. Yeah? We'll have to see what we can get in the meantime. Right. I have an old pair of clippers if you want them for free. Feel free, mate. If you don't mind posting my way, send me an email. Yeah, they're only going to be used on teddy bear fur. Righty-ho. Let's dig in. Questions. Where are my questions? Whoa, we've got some questions. Right, let's do this. Okay, Photo Deviants on YouTube is asking, what is the best material clay to use when making trees? I've made a couple of trees and used air dry clay over a wire armature, and I've been getting a lot of cracks. Can you please suggest something that would be better to use? You're probably going to want to go with something like milliput rather than a two-part epoxy putty, rather than air drying clay for trees, for exactly those same reasons. Also, it can crack because it's because air drying clay dries through shrinking volume. But there are a ton of different ways of doing tree armatures. Everything from tin foil, filler, tissue paper soaked in PVA. Absolutely loads. Depends on how much you want to spend and how detailed you want to do. Now, with you saying clay, it suggests that you want to sculpt into the tree. In which case, I would go with milliput. Milliput hardens a lot harder than clay. Okay, you can sculpt into it, and because it's a two-part epoxy putty, it doesn't reduce volume. Yeah, and so your trees will be very firm, depending on the thickness of the wire that your armature and how strong that is. Of course, I mean, if that's really weak, then it's variable. Oh boy, I've been waiting for a tutorial on teddy bear fur for battle mats. Well, to be truthful, what I'd like to do is nail the teddy bear fur, then tie it into the acrylic battle mat back to basics video, if you know what I mean, so we can cover the whole thing. Someone saying they've sent me a message on Facebook page. I won't see that till tomorrow, mate. I've done my Facebook admin for today. Oh my god, it's the summer holidays already. It is. Right, and Kerry started her summer holidays, ill. Right, moving on. So with regards to covering the trees, if you want to sculpt into it, I highly recommend something like milliput. Yeah, if you want to go cheap, there's a whole host of techniques, and go check out the playlist, terrain tutorials, the greenery one. It's the grass, bushes and trees one. I've forgotten the name of it. Someone in the comments will say it. Yeah, so I hope that helps you, buddy. If you've got any follow-up questions to that, drop them into the comments if you're assuming you're still watching, dude. Okay, here's a good one. Oh, that is a good one. From Trey Trot. Yeah, watch it on YouTube. When you see game boards at the shows you go to, what are the three things that would drive you nuts when you see them that they wish they didn't? So basically, what three things drive me nuts about boards at game shows? Probably first and foremost, where the board is considered secondary or not important. Yeah, there's a lot of, especially in historical wargaming, there's a lot of rank and file sort of games where, scenery doesn't really play into the game as much, or the guy who's running it, or the club is setting it, and what you get is this sort of dressing, of scenery, or, you get just really poor, a green cloth laid down. And it's like, you've got close to 1,000 models on that table, maybe 2,000 models, all beautifully painted. But you can only spend 10-15 minutes knocking a table together. I see it sometimes at the wargame shows, and I go round and it's like, that's exactly the same table since last year. You know what I mean? And nothing has changed, it's just got dustier. Yeah, and it drives me. I'm not saying that wargame shows tables should be about the table. It should be about the game. But there should be a balance between the effort you put into the game and then the models and the table. Because it frames the experience. It sets the experience. So yeah, that drives me nuts. I'm just trying to think of tables. I don't know beyond that, to be truthful. Because there isn't any... I mean... I suppose what this is quite a challenging question. But I suppose what it comes down to, for me, is... fundamentally, and this comes to the thing that drives me nuts, effort. Yeah, I don't really mind what you've done with your table if you've put effort into it. I don't mind if you've gone round charity shops and you've built the entire table on less than a tenner. There was an awesome one at Salute that had done that. Yeah, it was mint. They actually used real cactuses as cactuses. I thought that was brilliant. Yeah, they got like toy rockets in and they just spray painted them up and that sort of stuff, and it was brilliant. Yeah, there's other tables that are absolutely beautiful and large and glorious. Yeah. Fundamentally, there's other tables I've seen that have been built out of Lego. There's other tables that are... I mean, there was one, a Hammerhead that me and Corbin played on. That was like... It was cardboard boxes coloured in with felt tip pens. But it was a Mr. Man game. And they'd put the effort in and, they got the little plastic Mr. Men characters. And me and Corb had a great game with these two kids. The thing that I wish people wouldn't do when you go to a show is not put effort into your table. Yeah, if you put in effort... If it's going to take you 3 hours to take it to, to the damn show, at least put 3 hours into it. Ah. That's about as ranty as I get. I don't even know how to say this guy's name. Trot. Yeah. What an awesome question, mate. But yeah, there's no three things. There's just one thing. Effort. It doesn't matter the ability. Yeah. If you put effort into making something good, it shines through. And that shows, I mean, from Dave Marshall stacking the tables, and when he takes like 6 tables to Salute and they're all beautiful. Yeah. I mean, to Luke APS's stuff and that sort of stuff, really good builds. Yeah. And then you go over and then you look at the RAF Association where they've got toy boxes, or you look at the Mr. Men game where it's cardboard boxes. It's all about creating an experience, yeah, and having fun and making new friends over a table. And if you don't put the effort into the table, I think you're denying that. Oh, All right, I'm going to jump into the comments because you guys no doubt have got plenty on this. Pronounced tater tot. Tater tot, beautiful question, mate. Absolutely beautiful. People are talking trees. People saying add PVA onto into your clay. Yeah, that can work, but you have to put it on in some volume because it will reduce more. Yeah. Yes, Mel. It's like framing a Van Gogh with cheap plastic picture frame. Yeah. Or Jimmy's replied, or gaffer tape. I don't know if gaffer tape for trees, obviously. Maybe they think that with 3,000 models on there, nobody's going to see the table. Not so. Scuffed board edges, bits and pieces not glued to the board properly and going all over the shop. I mean, scuffed board edges is a bit of a neat and tidy thing. I can forgive it because it happens, and you know what I mean. Pieces and bits not glued on properly. I rarely get time to play on the boards. Yeah, and so I've not experienced that, to be perfectly honest. Don't frame the table and have a huge flat spot in the middle. Put things in the middle too. A lot of these tables are literally a few trees either side, and it drives me nuts. I won't say it drives me nuts, but it just disappoints me. I think it's not the money put into the table, it's the attention to the work that's done that's important. One nicely completed piece is better than a dozen pieces that are half finished. Yeah, exactly. I mean, whether it's you've made cardboard boxes and coloured them in, it's about the effort to create the experience. Sounds like when I take my diorama to the tractor show, it takes me about 5-6 hours to set up and close to 3 hours to take it down. Yeah. One follower at our club puts his trees and such all around the outside. That terrain has no effect on the battle. Exactly. I try to spend a third of my time on terrain when starting a new game. I think that's a fair balance. I think, to be truthful, when starting, yeah, I probably put more time into terrain. Yeah, obviously. But at the same time, I think it's fair to say that, there is an investment in terrain in the start that, pays off long term and your time goes down. So I think investing a bit more in the terrain while you're painting the models and learning the rules at the start is okay. Because, a lot of that, moving on, a lot of your time's going to be into the models and the rules after that. Hey, Jace. Don't they usually have most beautiful table award at cons? Yeah, they have a few of those sort of things. Like in life, the more you put in, the more you get out. When you can tell that there's thought gone into the table, that's when it's satisfying for everyone. Yeah, exactly. Right. So yeah, that was a brilliant question. Quick check of the old paper. Remember, guys, we are funding for all the dies and all that sort of stuff tonight. Yeah, this is to do the teddy bear fur tutorials. So, if you're appreciating the comments and appreciating the information, yeah, the link's down below to support the stream. Right, I've got a fair few more questions to go, so we're probably going to be cracking on. Okay, Wardrobe Hudson. Hi Mel, I'm wondering if you've got any experience of using wood ash for basing and potential problems. I have a wood burning stone and I have tons of stuff with a view to 50mm desert terrain in particular. Many thanks. Right, wood ash, what he's talking about here. Excellent question, Wardrobe Hudson. Thank you. Wood ash. When you burn logs and stuff like that, obviously you get remaining bits of wood. And the best way to describe them, yeah, is smoothed off. Yeah, they look like parched wood and sort of desert worn wood from sand and that sort of stuff. The problem is, because it's burnt, it's got a lot high, I don't know if it's charcoal, Yeah, well, charcoal is technically wood burned without oxygen, isn't it? Yeah, but it's got a very high, what you call it, sort of ash, which means it can be brittle. Yeah, also you can have contamination problems with it, but it does look really good as miniature sort of dried out logs. Now the way I handle it is dead simple. I usually get it, put it in a sieve, yeah, and then what you call it, dunk it in some watered down PVA just to seal it. Once I've sealed it, I spray prime it. Once you've done those two things, yeah, the watered down PVA will soak into it. Yeah, because the wood will absorb the PVA, the watered down PVA, and set it. So you can just, give it a good soaking. If you've only got a few pieces, just do it in a plastic cup. Fish them out. Go carefully, yeah, because you don't want to crumble it and all that sort of stuff. Let it dry out, and then just seal it, yeah, with a primer. You can use a varnish to seal it, but generally I go for a primer. Generally I like going for a very light brown primer, a sort of cream primer. That's because I can come along afterwards and just give it a very quick dry brush with a cream, yeah, and I've got parched wood to drop down on deserts, yeah, so yeah, you can use it, mate, yeah, but like I say, you have to stabilise it and seal it by sealing it in watered down PVA, and then afterwards, highly recommend giving it a spray prime. Now, I'm not sure what you're going to use it for. I mean, it can be pulled off looking like sandstone with basing and stuff like that, depending on the pieces you've got. Okay, so let me know, Hudson, in the wardrobe, Hudson. Yeah, let me know in the comments if that answers your question, buddy. Yeah, and guys, if you find that useful, links down below. But yeah, good question, mate. Right, I'm just seeing if anyone's commented on that. But yeah, fact. Might have a fire tomorrow. My next door neighbour Trev, he's been trimming a tree and he's got a load of logs he's waiting to take to the tip. I think I'll burn those for you, mate. Okay, question 5 of 13. My mate Bill. When applying a black wash on creamy colours, should I be wetting a workpiece? The creamy colours are pretty chalky, you know. By the way, the extender really helped with the tide mark issue last week. No worries, mate, on the extender. Here to help, buddy. Yeah, right, you don't want to put a black wash on cream colours. You want to put a very brown wash. Don't put black washes on things unless they're industrial. Yeah, black is, you need to break the black. A bit like we break grey with yellow, you know what I mean? Or we break brown with grey. Yeah, but black's too neutral. It's too primary to be a wash. So something like either a burnt umber or a raw umber, depending on cream, you're probably going to be looking at something that's warm. So you want a raw umber. No, a burnt umber, sorry. Yeah, and just put a little bit of that. I mean, not much at all. Perhaps 1 part burnt umber to 10 parts black, just to break the black of the wash. Yeah, whether you should be pre-wetting the workpiece depends on whether you're putting flow aid in your wash and whether you're applying it all over the entire piece, or pre-wetting comes in if you're applying things in selective areas. So you pre-wet that area and work the wash in that area. Yeah, if you're applying a wash all over the piece, you might as well just use a flow aid and just apply the wash all over the piece. Right, Bill, hope that answers your question. If it doesn't, follow it up in the comments. Right. Okay, here's a good one. Chaotic Video Gamer is asking, yeah, this question may be best on the terrainiacs Facebook page. An awesome group, link down to the group below. Over 20,000 terrainiacs on there, guys. Yeah, all helping each other with their hobbies. So seriously, go check out the group. Links are down below. Yeah, but what would be the best method of attack for transforming bolt action terrain for Warhammer 40,000? Good question. Now, to be truthful, yeah, a lot of it depends what bolt action terrain you've got. Desert stuff will transfer quite easily to desert environments. Nordic and the sort of snowy scenes, they'll transfer. Greenfield will transfer. The issue becomes things that tie it into a specific period. So, for example, sandbags are pretty universal. Yeah, well, we believe, and they're seen as universal. You know, they have sandbags in the 40k universe. Yeah, but then again, I mean, they have muskets and pikes. There's a Gaunt's ghost story, isn't there, where they get attached to like this World War One regiment sort of thing, and they're fighting in the trenches. You know, and they're literally walking around with, what was it, lass muskets or something like that. Yeah, and so, yeah, they do tie over. But generally, it's the little bits, the garnish. You know, your barrels, your ammo crates, your damage weapons, your lass cannons. Tying those things over and things that you would usually expect. Now, that applies to sort of battlefield scenes, you know, trenches, greenfield scenes, desert scenes. When you move into, like, urban scenes, yeah, you need to gothic up the buildings to a certain extent. You know, if you've got European terrain, yeah, with slate and tiles, you're going to struggle converting that over. Do you know what I mean? If you've got general ruins, sort of like Stalingrad ruins, that sort of stuff, yeah, then just simply integrating the 40k stuff into it. Posters to tie the buildings into that theme. The Imperial Aquila, you know, you can get those on tank sprues. Get a couple of those, make a green stuff press mold, yeah, and then just knock out a load of those to glue over. That's what I used to do, yeah. So yeah, those are the sort of things. It's about using things from the universe to tie the terrain in, whilst making sure you hide or remove, yeah, things that don't tie it into that universe, if you know what I mean. So a US mailbox, yeah, or a British postal box, that's going to throw the believability off. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, so take those sort of things off and replace them with stuff from 40k. So yeah, that's how I do it. Right, Chaotic, I hope the question helped you, buddy. And if you find the information useful, links down below to support the teddy bears. The teddy bear culling. Well, they've already been culled, aren't they? Because I'm buying their fur and colorising it. Right, moving on. We are 7 of 14. Marcus Took. How do you make the teddy bear fur stand up to represent tall grass? Tons of PVA glue or something else? To be perfectly honest, Marcus, I haven't got an answer for you. And right now we're trying to fundraise to get the stuff so I can get you an answer, and I'll be working on it this week. So, if this show goes well and we get the other 40-something, yeah, we'll watch it. We will have an answer for you next week, hopefully, dude. Yeah, if not, we might have a partial answer. It depends on what we get and that sort of stuff. Right, okay, I see it. What you call it? Cut out the Aquila and wing skull in cardboard. Yeah, you can certainly do that. A trench is a trench, sandbags are sandbags, JP's saying. Yeah, that's certainly true. Bolt action is 156 scale, 40k is 135th scale. No, what you call it? It isn't. GW have scaled up their models over time. That's certainly true. Yeah, but I've got 40k models that are in scale with bolt action. I mean, the vehicles are scaled differently, definitely. But even with a slight variation, with terrain and stuff like that, it still works. Yeah, not much difference in bunkers. Your civilian bunker buildings would need more work to 40k them up, most definitely. So yeah, everyone's happy with that. So we'll get. People are saying the teddy bear fur will stand up when you comb it, paint it, seal it, all that sort of stuff. Yeah, I really need to play with this stuff and get it nailed. I like the idea of these Burma build and doing like these large pieces. I'm thinking about doing roughly, what you call it? 3 foot by 4 foot's worth of pieces. Yeah, because it's just teddy bear fur, so I'm hoping it'll be a quick build. Hoping. Yeah, that could be a lot. Then again, I mean, yeah, that should be a relatively quick build. But between that and the jungle terrain I've got so far, I should be able to deploy like an 8x4 table. Yeah, so I'm well up for that. Right. Moving on, 8 of 14. Cat's asking. Part 1, here's the info. Rit dye as a regular and poly. Ours go lie down. Right. Rit dye as regular and poly dyes, but you can use regular paint watered down. Fabric paint is simple acrylic with a textile medium in it. Yeah, need to get that textile medium. Right. Okay, I have a feeling. Right, Cats part 2. If you use paints, they will work. You just need to have a fine comb or brush. Yeah, got one of those, darling. Yeah, and work it a lot to keep it from clumping. You should brush the dyed ones, but less work. Fabric mediums should cost the same as acrylic craft paints and get mixed 50-50. No change to colour or thickness. When are you going to start this? How soon do I need to get a parcel to you? I'd like to start it as soon as possible, to be perfectly honest, but we'll have to take it from there. Right, I think I've done cats. Oh, nice one. Right. Right, so I'm going to have some teddy bear stuff to play around with. I imagine I can start messing around with cutting it, assuming we mess around with some trimmers. I want to see about melting it. So we can do that bit at the terrain lab. We could mess around with the spray primers and just house paints and acrylic paints whilst we wait. I think we're going to have enough for fingers crossed we'll have enough to get some textile medium, which just leaves the dyes and the extra teddy bear fur. I'll go through a lot of teddy bear fur testing out this sort of stuff, so I won't have any left to do the actual Burma build. Yeah, so I need to stock up. Oh, Mr. Graham Rick. We just check that. Oh, he's thrown 20 into the mix. Nice one, buddy. We are well on the way. A reminder, when you cut fur, use a knife and only cut through the backing and then pull it apart. In the store, we need to use scissors and it screws up the edge. Right, so much like when you cut in sandpaper, flip it over, cut the back, and then separate. Right. Jimmy's saying, just on the scale thing. Rob's saying lots of rivets for terrain. Yeah. Jimmy's saying on the scale thing, GW scalers all over the place. A marine is meant to be 9 foot tall. Yeah, I have Catachan figures as tall as a marine. Yeah, that's very true. Gunnar Henson. Yeah, throw that one into the Google Doc, mate. I'll wrap that up. We'll have that. Right. Digger's asking, right, for my next diorama, I'll be using a mix of yours, Jeremy's and Luke's techniques. Is there anything you've pulled from somewhere else for your own, like maybe adapting from model railroading? Everything. I mean, you've got to remember, there's no... Well, until I write it, yeah, there's no real manual for this sort of stuff. There's a load of books and, there's YouTube videos and, most of the stuff I've learned from model railroad people, in shops and wargaming clubs and, you know what I mean? We're all using other people's stuff. I mean, most of the techniques, that scenic modelling techniques that we use, were developed by the film industry back in the 50s and 60s. The guys who were doing those awesome layouts and, for films before they started using CGI for everything. Yeah, so when you turn around and say, oh, do you pull stuff? Everything I've pulled. I mean, I didn't come up with the idea of watering down PVA to seal it, but everyone uses it. I mean, PVA itself, I didn't come up with the idea of using PVA to glue stuff down. Yeah, we just know it naturally because it's what's done in scenic modelling. I always said, you know, in scenic modelling, we stand, you know, on the shoulders of the hobbyists before us, if you know what I mean. So yeah, mate. There's tons of stuff, and like things like, you know, I'm messing around with filler on teddy bear fur. Yeah, I got that from Dave Marshall. I do want to have a look at how Luke Towan does those weird Scotch pines, because I haven't done that technique before. Yeah, Jeremy's stuff, he does great stuff. I'll be honest, I haven't looked at his videos in a long time. I don't generally watch other crafting videos. Yeah, the reason being is, what I don't want to do is subconsciously say something they've said in their video to describe something and give the impression that I'm, nicking stuff off other people. So I really sort of avoid other crafters' videos, because the last thing I want to do is use like a couple of sentences to describe something and someone say, that's what Jeremy said in his video 6 months ago. Or you just copy, you know what I mean? Yeah, so when you're on YouTube, you get into this weird situation where you don't really watch other creators. Who is it? Carl from the Independent Characters. He doesn't listen to any other 40k podcast exactly for the same reason. Because subconsciously, you know, your brain goes, that's a good point. That's a good way of saying it. When it comes to saying it or make that point, you use somebody else's words. So you have to avoid it. Right. So yeah, I've used all sorts of people, but generally it's people who aren't in the online community at the moment. I learn from the past more than I learn from. Yeah, it probably shuts me down from learning stuff, to be perfectly honest. But you just can't risk the idea that giving out the impression that you're nicking ideas and all that sort of stuff and presenting them as your own. But pretty much all scenic modelling is just taken from someone else and presenting it. Right, let's move. That's an awkward question, isn't it? Right, I had a buzz. Ooh, don't want to miss anyone. We are well on the way. These Facebook people are messaging me on Facebook. Right, Model Farm Master's asking, what's the best thing to blend roads together? Generally, I mean, if you're talking about modular roads, you don't blend them together. I mean, the most important thing is to make sure that the edges are, you know, as cleanly cut as possible so they fit together, you know, and the gap between them is as seamless as possible. I'm working on something with this with the Burma builds, but you don't blend roads. I mean, when you're building modular boards, you know, especially boards that are flocked, there is a tendency to come along and sprinkle loose flock and dress the board as a way of hiding the joins. But we don't do that on roads as such. I mean, if I'm joining, say, if I'm making a T-junction and I'm using like sandpaper, yeah, and so I've got a cut line I need to hide, then normally I'll hide that by painting white lines and sort of like road markings just at the edge of the join line, and it sort of disguises it. Yeah, but with regards to actually blending roads, yeah, we don't actually do that. You're right there, Oz. Oh, let me finish my show, mate, and I'll let you out. Okay, you're not desperate. Come on, I know you're fine. You went out just before the show, mate. Go on. Go lie down. Right. Did. Right, moving on. Is the family coming to to 2020 TerrainCon, Historicon? No, they're not. Well, I don't know as yet. I'll have to have a chat with Dave and all that sort of stuff, but we'll confirm that later in the year. Right, next question. Scott Everett Road. I'm new to MDF kits. I usually use foam and spackle and wood filler. I recently bought a bunch of TT Combat models. They have a brick texture. I know from you to coat it with matte sealer first, but I'm afraid to paint my... I'm afraid of hiding the texture of the bricks. No, don't worry about it, mate. Yeah, I was exactly the same with the with the... What were they? The Turf War Z builds. I had these city block buildings from Sarissa Precision. Yeah, 28mm sort of brownstone sort of American designs. And they had sort of an etched, brickwork on them. And I was exactly the same. Yeah, about priming them and painting them and whether I'd lose the the brick detail. Not a single piece. I even tried to lose the brick detail by really plastering it on. But as long as it's going on in one coat at a time, you'll be absolutely fine. Don't be afraid of of painting it up, mate. Yeah, if you are a little afraid, my best suggestion is to have a look at a bit of the kit that will probably be hidden by another bit when you build it. Okay, so you know how you can have like a wall and it can have an outhouse that attaches to it? So there'll be a little bit of that wall that you know you're not going to see. Yeah, just mark that little bit off with a pencil before you build it. Just have a little test paint on there. Yeah, and just have a play and just get your confidence on that, mate. And then when it comes to building it, when you build it, everything that's exposed won't have any test bits on it. That'll be hidden, you know, because you've kept it on the bit that won't be seen. And then you can just attack it with confidence, knowing, yeah, I know this is going to work. Yeah, so do it that way, buddy. Hope that helps you, buddy. And if it did, the link's down below and you can help me, mate. It's after teddy bear fur. Right, remember, guys, if you've got any questions, drop them down in the Google Doc. Links down below for all the Google Docs and links to Patreon and PayPal and all that sort of stuff. Right. I'm on question 15 of 17 because there's been some duplicates and quick ones. Okay, JT's asking, hey Mel, I'm currently painting up 28mm British Airborne from Warlord. Lovely figures. He said that, and so am I. I want to give them an urban style base as their Arnhem setting. What's the best basing material for a rubble effect? Plus any top tips for basing? Basing, best material for rubble effects is rubble. Yeah. Go out, get a house brick. Yeah. Wrap it, put it in a couple of carrier bags. Wrap it in a tea towel. Then smash it with with a hammer. And what you'll end up is with loads of little crumbly, different sized rubble bits that look really like rubble because they are rubble. And they'll be perfectly shaded for rubble because they're made out of brick. Yeah, and then just sprinkle it on, dude. Yeah, a little bit of super glue, a little bit of thick PVA on. Yeah, a little bit of water PVA sprinkled all over. After you've done that, come in with a couple of light greys and a dash of creams just to break it up a little. And it will look beautiful. And I'm not going to give you any more tips for basing because, yeah, I've got a basing PDF coming out. And I'll be covering all that. Plus, it's in the book and I'm not giving away all those secrets. Yeah, so if you want any more tips for rubble basing and that sort of stuff, there are videos on doing rubble and how to do rubble in the Buildings and Ruins playlist. So go into the channel, go look at the playlist, go and look at the Terrain Techniques Buildings and Ruins. You'll find a rubble tutorial in there. But I've got to say, the rubble tutorial in the books are quite markedly better. Right. So hope that helps you, JT. Yeah, go get a brick and smash it, matey. Right, we are on question 16 of 17. We are coming up on the hour. So if you've got any questions, get them in now. Make sure I'm not missing anyone. We're about halfway to our total, so we can start. Thank you, guys. I've answered that one. Gunnar is asking me, so, looks like I may have a final question here, guys. Eisenhorn, the TV show, your thoughts on it? I posted this on my on my Facebook, and I'm not sure if there's little kids watching, so I'll rephrase what I said, but please don't be poo. Please don't be poo. I am so stoked for this. First off, Eisenhorn, I loved that series. Yeah, absolutely loved it. And I read all three, the whole thing back to back. Yeah, and I loved how there was an overacting art character line, especially the novellas as well, and the short stories. Yeah, I like Eisenhorn. Yeah. In fact, no. Corbin, no, it's not Eisenhorn. Yeah. What's it? Right now, I am. Let me just bring my screen up so I can see. Right now, I'm in the process of reading. Yeah, I'm reading that at the minute. Yeah, and I have really got a Mechanicus and I've got a right 40k bug on me at the minute. Really, I have a massive 40k bug. I think I'm going to kill team. I know I keep saying, but it's getting more likely. I was looking at I've been looking at this quite a lot of. I know it's not kill team, but I'm sort of like refreshing the 40k minds. I got myself a little Space Marine. How cool is he? I'm going to paint him up. Yeah. Corbin got himself one of these. Well, it's got to be finished. Yeah, but Corbin was asking me, why I love the Imperial Guard so much. Yeah, when we were talking about 40k. And I said, you've got 2 books to choose from, which show you exactly why I love the Imperial Guard. Yeah, and you 40kers, Kane and Yarrick. I mean, it's like yin and yang, isn't it? Let me put those back under there. And I was like, with Corb, I was like, pick one. I'd rather have a Gaunt's Ghost Show fastened after Sharp's rifles. I think I agree with you. Yeah, that would be good. But I think Eisenhorn fits in with the investigation, the storyline a bit better. Do you know what I mean? Remember, guys, if you've got any questions, this is your last chance to get them into the Google Doc. So, Eisenhorn. Yeah, I am invested. I hope it's good. I mean, the last time we had a proper movie from GW, or that GW was involved in, it was that Ultramarines one, which could have been halvened by simply adding a rhino. And it was rubbish. The storyline was rubbish. The CGI was rubbish. I mean, we've seen some great fan work, CGI-wise, come out recently. Especially that one with I think it's the Ultramarines and the 2 Necrons. That was beautiful. Yeah, and there's there's the guy who's just given up on doing the 40k film on the Inquisitor. Yeah, but that was beautiful. 15 Hours is the best book for IG. 15 Hours? I don't think I've read that one. Kill Team is great. Imperial Guard are pretty good faction too. Top tip for Imperial Guard and Kill Team: you can never have too much plasma. That's good because all my command squads used to be 4 plasma guys. Yeah, we're using the old order system. Bring it down, reroll. Wesley saying, been watching your videos sometime now. Great stuff. Learn loads of stuff. I build tall ships, 17th to 19th century. Nice one, buddy. Singbo, your question was too silly, mate. If you want to take the mick out of my accent, I ain't going to go down that route. Button polyps are as well. Button polyps, as we all are. Hey, a button! Bumped into you at Warlord. I recognise the name now. So yeah, what you call it? Overall, I've got to say, I am hopeful. Yeah, that it will be good. I think what you call it. Does anyone know? Is it going to be a Netflix series? Because it sort of establishes the quality, if you know what I mean. I mean, if it's a GW project, I don't know, to be perfectly honest. Not bashing GW, but it's not their bag. Now, I do have a... No, I'm not saying that. No, I can't. Actually, I can. I do have a mate who's mates with the guy who's making it. And he did say that, he was going to see him soon. Yeah, and he was going to have a chat with him about it. So I'm hoping to hear back on the inside track, to be perfectly honest. But, as always, yeah, although I may know people, yeah, NDAs and non-disclosures are the way we roll. I have to be like this because otherwise people like Jez and stuff like that don't like treat me with like really like, here, have a look at this and all those sort of things. I get sneak peeks that I really shouldn't. Yeah, not from Jez or any other named individual. Yeah, but that's on the basis that, I don't, let the cat out of the bag. But I have got an inside track on this. And I did tell my mate when I said, when you go see this Frank guy who's doing it, yeah, I've said, just tell him, don't drop the ball on this. Like I'm anything to like I'm anything, I'm no authority to tell him not to drop the ball, but as a hobbyist, yeah, don't drop the ball on this. Really don't drop the ball on this. So yeah, that's where I stand on Eisenhorn. Right, let me have a quick nose at the Google Doc. Let's see what we got. Oh, we've had a couple more come in. Okay, Wardrobe Hudson's back, yeah, with a follow-up. Had laptop issues tonight, so sorry if this is a repeat. No worries, mate. Many thanks for the advice on the wood ash. Hey, mate, it's what I'm here for. Yeah? But if it's dust, I'm thinking of using not the larger bits. Right, okay. As cover, as a ground cover. I've heard it's very alkaline and can burn your skin as well. No, I wouldn't use the dust, the actual ash dust, as what you call it. Not just that, it's a pain in the backside, mate, to actually work with. Yeah. I would, if you want a really fine, ground cover, either bake, dusty sand, yeah, or dusty earth, 200 degrees Celsius for 30 minutes to kill off all the gribblies. Yeah, you can get that down to a really fine powder. Or buy rodent bathing dust from like a pet store or something like that. It's called rodent bathing dust or chinchilla dust, but that's really fine. I wouldn't use wood ash as a basing aggregate, to be perfectly honest. Steve Jackson was at Kiel this week. Oh, dude, you should have told me. Ruben, good to see you at Warlord. Right. Cypher's asking, if you're considering playing 40k, what do you think about Warcry? I've seen the great shout out about it. Yeah, but I'll be perfectly honest, I haven't had a chance to look at any of the vids, so other than pretty much everyone who's big in the 40k YouTube side, I sort of straddle many spheres, if you know what I mean. Yeah, but the 40k YouTubers, they've all been showing off their big boxes and dropping them and that sort of stuff. Other than seeing that they've done a load of videos on Warcry, I know nothing about it other than I'm assuming it's the start of the Age of Sigmarization of 40k. So I don't know on that one. Right, Pete C is asking, I just tried a test Cork mat came out okay, but on the full size one, I need to put in some road. It's Normandy, so what's best? Normandy, back in World War II, I don't think they were even tarmacked. I think most of the roads were just dirt roads, to be perfectly honest. Yeah, countryside, round the, in the bocage and that sort of stuff. I think they will have had concrete roads or tarmac roads between major cities and that sort of stuff. But I think a lot of the country lanes were mainly compressed ground. Yeah, so your normal sort of grit and that sort of stuff. Yeah. I would hit it with grit. And Pete, really hold off, because after I finish this show, my next job is to edit up that video, and it's out on Tuesday, how I did the road on the acrylic mat that I did on the live show on Thursday. So if you really want to catch up, go watch last Thursday's live show. Yeah, because I put a road on an acrylic mat and it turned out great. Yeah, so what you need to know is there. Or if you don't mind holding off till Tuesday, yeah, you'll have a video. Also, patrons, you're probably going to have it Monday night. Yeah, because I'll leave it rendering tonight and upload it Monday. Okay, so we'll drop that one in. Basically, I just want a different one to the actual rocks, if you know what I mean. So we're having a bit of a change. Jason, Mel, good to see you, Warlord. On behalf of Ruben, someone who couldn't post, any advice to paint GW industrial kits avoiding dull metallic colours? Personally, I'd go get yourself some stone texture paint, because it's the right colour, and it'll a spray primer, and it'll put out a texture onto the kit as well. So your base coating and I mean, you can get stone textures. Basically, you get these spray paints, yeah, and they come with a texture and a colour. Okay, so on the plastic kits, you can just give them a bit of a spray, and it'll put that bitty texture in, yeah, but at the same time, it will base coat it. So I would go down that line when dealing with to avoid like metallic colours. And they produce a load of different stone colours. Now, since most of the buildings are stone or concrete or something like that, you just pick which you want. So if you want that sort of sandstone block look, yeah, that sometimes GW uses on, what display was it? It was the one with the pyramid. That was just sandstone textured spray paint. Yeah, is it Krylon who do them? So just hit those up, mate. Hope that helps you, buddy. If it does, links down below, guys. Remember, if you have enjoyed the show, we are just over halfway. We just need another 20, and we've nailed all the bits for the teddy bear, terrain lab. So we'll have hit the target for this show. Yeah. Right, final question. Links down below to help me with that, guys, and then I can get cracked on with figuring out teddy bear fur for you guys. Yeah. Billy Bow, are you thinking about doing group workshops in the near future? Yes. Yeah, this is an after the book comment, as usual. But yes, I am going to be doing group workshops. I am looking at getting another studio space in Spode and probably running them on a monthly basis, if you know what I mean. Yeah, long term, I have got a plan of running a week-long course. Yeah, really sort of intense, going from like morning to early evening. Yeah, so like a morning session, an afternoon session, then an evening session, and doing that 5 days in a row, because the Spode site that my studio is based on, it has it's sort of like a cultural regeneration site, and it's got a really nice hotel on it that's dirt cheap. Yeah, so people could book in for the week, yeah, and come spend and do a complete week's sort of course with me. So I'm thinking about doing one of those and experimenting for people who live abroad and want to come across for a week, come visit Stoke, stay at Spode and spend a week doing it. Bit like a big Beasts of War boot camp, boot camp, but for the week, like Monday to Friday. Yeah, so we've got that going on. So yeah, definitely group workshops in the future. Yeah, and that was my last question. So, all done and dusted. Question doc is off. Yeah, right. Oh, stretch. We are 20 past 10, so we have done good. Yeah, right. I want one quick check of PayPal. I don't want to miss shouting out anyone. Not by password, by thumb. Right. Last person was Mr. Rig. Yeah, so we've already shouted out Graham. So, guys, listen, thanks for your support. I'll start getting the teddy bear stuff and we can start on that. Yeah, and then once I've got the remaining bits after a later show, we'll order the rest bits and we'll get this teddy bear stuff figured out, yeah? It's been a brilliant show. I've had a brilliant time. Big shout out to everyone I met at Warlord. Big shout out to the Warlord crew for inviting me along. Had an absolute blast. We are back on Tuesday because after this I'm jumping onto editing up the the teddy bear, not the teddy bear fur, the acrylic battle mat. So keep your eyes out for that. There will be a more in-depth one coming out in the future in the form of a back to basics video. Yeah, one of those hour-long sort of deep science everything video. Yeah, so we've got to figure that out, but I want to figure teddy bear fur first. So this week I may be messing around with teddy bear fur, but you may also have sandstone rock tutorial. Got your back. Yeah, but before that, you've got you've got the acrylic corky battle mat coming out on Tuesday, assuming I get it done tonight. So, with that in mind, I am going to call it. Massive shout out to Kat, to Jez, and to Jace, my moderators. Jace, I will see you Wednesday. Yeah, and in the meantime, yeah, you guys have a great Sunday. Have a great week. I'll see you soon. Remember, back Thursday night, 7:30 UK time. And as always, if you've liked this stream and you've enjoyed it, yeah, links down below. Even a quid helps get towards those teddy bear fur dyes and that sort of stuff. Appreciate it, guys. All the best, yeah? Ta-da!